Good morning everyone, how are you all doing? I'm Mysticle and today I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. Please do not ask me about this, I don't know what this is, I woke up like this. But we do have quite a few things to get through today, so without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Now, when I say this one's packed, I mean it. But as usual, we're going to begin with meta news. First of all, something really cool. Meta wants to bring your real-life hands into VR. How long have we seen people complaining about the fact that the hands in VR are literally just either transparent hands or some cartoony avatar hands? Well, it seems Meta wants to change that by bringing photorealistic hands into VR. People identify with their hands. Meta is researching how to make them as accurate and realistic as possible in virtual reality. Researchers from Meta's Codec Avatars Lab and Nanyang Technological University present Your Hand in a new research paper. The name refers to universal relatable hands. Your Hand is a hand model that can be adapted to a user's individual hands and allows for realistic illumination. The researchers refer to Your Hand as the first universal relatable model that generalizes across viewpoints, poses, illuminations, and identities. Another highlight of this research is that the hand model can be adapted to the user's hands using a series of smartphone pictures, so that one day it may be possible to bring one's hands into virtual reality using simple means. This alone would be a major technological breakthrough. Meta has been working on things like this in the past. As a matter of fact, we've seen them use something called instant codec to create instant codec avatars with a phone, and this has been incredibly impressive. However, I never thought about them using a similar technology in order to bring hands into VR. It would be really nice to be able to see our own hands in virtual reality, and if they were truly realistic, it could fix things like occlusion by not necessarily having to, create a gap in the model in VR, let's say the menu overlay, to pass through your real hands, but we could use this model instead, as it would already look like our real hands, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Let me know your opinions down below. Now, for those of you that thought you were going crazy on Meta finally fixing or upgrading our microphones on Quest, well, you're not. This has now been confirmed by Mark Zuckerberg, who is the VP leading VR at Meta. With a response tweet to Eric for President, y'all spoke, we listened. Better behavior on Don-Doff muting, better audio quality by using our mic array differently, EQ, and better gain management, including working with devs who were adding more gain than we expected. More to come on this. So there you go. There's the confirmation that we didn't have in the previous news video that microphones are actually being improved on Quest devices, and hopefully you should see a pretty big improvement to them on your device soon, if you have not yet already. Now, here is something that has been making the rounds on Twitter, and rightfully so. This is from DiverX. You guys remember the company that was working on that pretty cool headset that was supposed to kind of throw you in VR on a whole new level? Well, now they're working on something a little bit more reachable. And this was posted on Twitter in Japanese. So I'm reading a translation, and hopefully this is rather accurate. We are announcing the Contact Sheet, a sensor device that enables hand tracking like the index controller on the Quest 2 and 3 controller. Yes, guys, you heard that right. DiverX is now working on a device that should allow us to have full finger tracking inside Quest devices. Now, it will require apps in order to support this on things like standalone, but in PC VR, it seems to work with quite a bit. It works just by pasting it on the controller, making it possible to achieve both accurate controller operation and hand tracking, even with inside-out HMDs like the Quest series. It is possible to improve the expressions and immersion on social VR, such as VRChat. We will start accepting orders at the DiverX store from the second half of this month. Additionally, we will be demonstrating this device at LodgeXR Talk, which will be held on the 24th. And recently, they've posted another tweet. This is an explanation of the operation of each Contact Sheet application / streaming software. Please use it when considering purchasing. So this isn't currently compatible with absolutely everything. And here we can see the compatibility sheet. With VRChat, it can be used with Quest / Airlink, and it seems to have a somewhat index-like driver, which I would assume means it works perfectly and natively. With Virtual Desktop and Steam Link, it can currently only be used with OSC, or at least this is what this sheet looks like to me. Same with Resonite, Cluster, and Steam VR. All of those can be used with Quest / Airlink, however, they do not currently seem to have compatibility, or at least full compatibility with Virtual Desktop and Steam Link. I do wonder why this is, but they did post a compatibility sheet, which means there must be some sort of issues when using wireless streaming services. Really cool. This is something I've wanted for the longest time. full finger tracking VRChat is amazing when you use index controllers. And, you know, using these on Quest, yeah, it's possible, but it's not necessarily the nicest thing on the planet. And I'm not necessarily willing to give up the freedom and the simplicity of wireless VR just to use index controllers. If I could have that on Quest controllers, it would be absolutely amazing. And talking about amazing and more expressions in VRChat, this one is gonna blow your mind. Possibly literally. Okay, no, not literally. BCIs, brain-computer interfaces, things that you can place on your head and they will read the electrical signals from your brain. A few days ago, I saw this incredible video on X and I honestly couldn't believe it was real. This is from Rantis. I got BCI tracking now. I was able to directly control the ears on my avatar with my mind after some training in the mirror. Super cool stuff. So here, Rantis is using a mod for VRChat that allows it to interface with a BCI device in order to move the ears on his avatar with his brain. We are at this point where somehow we can train our brains in order to use parts of our body that we don't actually have. Either way, it sounds really cool and futuristic, and this project is open source on GitHub. It's called Brain Flows into VRChat, and they do also have a Discord that I'm going to leave down below. Incredible project, and I'm seriously hoping I'm gonna get to try this out soon as I try to get my hands on a BCI device that is supported by this. Honestly, mind blown. Now, from Sadly It's Bradley on Twitter. I'm told that Meta is currently talking to developer teams who use their cross-platform avatar systems in current games. They are embracing more fantastical avatars. Third parties will be able to use them. Feedback requests from Codec avatar features are also major talking points. We've seen in the latest PTC that Meta did leave snippets of code relating to Codec avatars on the Quest Pro's software. However, from these early talks, it seems that third-party usage of Codec avatars in titles will be very limited when they come. Well, at least for now, hopefully. Hopefully that does expand in the future. The more fantastical avatars, that is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. You know, we were shown that in the teaser of the metaverse, and they haven't yet arrived, but it does seem like they might be coming. Mark Zuckerberg has strongly denied Meta's AI focus is a pivot away from AR and VR, which some people still think it might be, even though I'm thinking here, you know, they are constantly working on headsets, they are constantly releasing headsets, they're releasing updates. I mean, they threw pretty much everything they had at this. Meta's interest in AI has received a lot of public attention in the past year, however, amid the advancements in the popularization of large language models like OpenAI's GPT series and Meta's open source competitor series, Llama. This has led to claims that Mark Zuckerberg is pivoting away from his focus on Reality Labs, the company's AR and VR division. Here's what he told Heath when it was brought up. I don't know how to more unequivocally state that we are continuing to focus on Reality Labs and the metaverse. It's not just a trade-off between those two things. Yeah, and from what I remember during the latest Connect event, he did actually talk greatly about interfacing this AI with virtual and augmented reality. So I personally don't think they're pivoting anytime soon. And he says they're not pivoting anytime soon, so I don't think we need to be worried about our devices disappearing anytime soon. Meta seems to have a new campaign. Meta is known to create a lot of different campaigns for VR and AR devices, probably to show how versatile they are. One of their more popular ones was definitely the workout campaign, where they plastered posters around buildings to show people that you can use virtual reality for working out. Now Meta is firing up a new campaign, Quest for Work. And I must say, it looks pretty good. I mean, working in virtual reality is something people have wanted for a long time. The idea of being able to have infinite displays appear around you in a virtual space is great for productivity and multitasking. And there's hundreds of apps and different pieces of software that allow you to do this nowadays. So it makes perfect sense, with things like Infinite Office now working quite well, being able to connect a Bluetooth mouse and a Bluetooth keyboard directly there to your Quest. Productivity and multitasking on these things is really, really simple. I think the biggest issue here is for how long you can wear them and how comfortable you're going to be in them. For example, the Quest Pro for me is one of those devices that is balanced so well that I can wear it for hours non-stop and not have any discomfort. So I can see where they're going with this, and I think it's a pretty good idea. Now we move on to the Vision Pro. As the Vision Pro currently only has around 200 native apps ready for launch. I mean, if you ask me, that's actually not too terrible. There's going to be a ton of apps available on the Vision Pro day one, with more than 1 million iOS and iPad apps working in compatibility mode on Apple's latest mixed reality headset. While Apple is positioning the 3.5K headset as a general computing device for work and casual media consumption, as it stands today, there's only around 200 native apps coming to the headset at launch. A number of native Vision OS apps come pre-installed on the Vision Pro, which include the App Store, Encounter Dinosaurs, which is an AR app, Files, Freeform, Keynote, Mail, Messages, Mindfulness, which is an AR app, Music, Notes, Photos, Safari, Settings, Tips, and TV. Despite Apple touting Vision Pro's access to more than 150 3D movies across various streaming platforms, the headset will notably lack apps for YouTube, Spotify, and Netflix. And when I was talking about this in a previous video, people were like, yeah, but it costs a lot of money to develop an app for the Vision Pro. So that's probably why these companies don't want to be throwing out money for what will essentially not be a lot of users. They will need to support these people. They will need to update these apps, and that's probably not worth the hassle. But what you don't realize here is the fact that the Vision Pro is supposed to work with iPad and iOS apps natively. And apparently there's a little box that you can tick that is ticked by default, that your app will work on Vision OS. So what I was getting at in the previous video is these companies had to go and untick that box to, on purpose, disallow their app from working on the Vision Pro. CitraVR has now launched, CitraVR being the VR version of the Citra emulator for the Nintendo 3DS. So in case you guys want to play emulated 3DS games inside your Quest, you now can. The Disney Holodeck is a thing now, and this might be one of the coolest pieces of technology I've seen in a while, and my mom actually sent me a video of this. She was like, have you seen this? This is really cool. It even says that multiple people can be on it and all walking independently. They can all walk in virtual reality and so many other things. And this is really, really cool. The tiles on the floor seem to actually keep you walking in space, and you can walk in whichever direction you like. It seems really intuitive and could seriously solve locomotion and virtual reality. Now, I'm not saying I see this coming into people's homes anytime soon, and I don't think that we as consumers will be able to actually get our hands on this and install this inside our home, but we might start seeing this in VR arcades. And then in the future, as all technology does, it'll probably end up getting cheaper and cheaper, and we might start seeing a home alternative to this in some way. Again, looks really cool, and I cannot wait to see more videos of people trying this out. And finally, it seems Sidequest has had enough of Gorilla Tag clones. Gorilla Tag is open source, and it is one of the largest titles out there, so I'm not surprised to see a ton of clones out for the game. I mean, just look at Minecraft clones as well. And Minecraft isn't even open source. From Eric for President, insane. Sidequest banning new Gorilla Tag clones starting now. Gorilla Tag is open source, which is amazing, but does lead to issues like this. But a win overall, and probably time for a statement like this. Well done, Gorilla Tag, as always. We've had enough. Since Christmas, the volume of Gorilla Tag clones has increased. We are effectively banning Gorilla Tag clones on Sidequest starting right now. Have a good day. And to be honest, yeah, there is a point at which it becomes too much. Your platform becomes clogged with these clones, and let's be honest, a lot of them probably aren't going to be as good and as big as Gorilla Tag. A lot of people are going to just take the open source code, change a few things, and come up with anything, hoping that their game will become as big as the real deal, when in reality, that probably won't happen. We've seen it all too many times. So I do agree. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you will have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are. If you guys like this one, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess it works too, but let me know why down below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and our Reddit down below, where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the amazing Patreons supporting this channel. You guys are incredible, seriously. Much love. And thank you to everyone else that has actually been doing super thanks recently. So I just want to show my appreciation to you guys as well. Seriously, thank you so much. And thank you to anyone else supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form. And as usual, if you guys want to be notified about your content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding the bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.
Well, it's completely dead now.
I think I completely broke it by trying to fix it. If I like squish it, some certain LEDs do turn on. Oh, like that one. Specifically that one.